So this will be my third safety video, and this one is about van safety items that I have that I highly recommend. And there'll probably be some in here that you may have never seen on any other channel, so I would definitely advise you to watch this video and learn what you can to stay safe on the road. So that's so my stuff doesn't fry up. That's good, yeah? I travel with my poodles in a 2000 Ford E250. We travel the country part-time, living our best life. This is my living journal. But also I want to be safe while I'm out there living my best life. But I've come across some of my own personal things that I found that I thought were very important as well. So we're going to start out with the basics. Your fire extinguisher. This one I keep in the back. It's easy to get to though. It is accessible. I also have the fire blanket, which I actually keep up front here. So I have the fire blanket and I have my extinguisher. So those are the two that I have for fire. I think I'm going to get a couple more of these. Luckily, I have never had to use them, so that's a good thing. So those are basics. I actually just got a lock that I'm going to use for my solar unit. It sits in the back, but I want something to tether it, and I have a bolt thing back here just to tether it. I mean, if somebody wants to get in your van, they're going to get in your van, but I'm not going to make it easy for anybody. So that will be tethered and locked down. So that's a new addition that I have. Remember the club? Remember that? Well, it used to go, or they still do, they would go in your steering wheel, so you couldn't technically, drive. But what I did was I got this one, and it goes around your steering wheel and your pedal. So it comes apart, and then what happens is you adjust it, and then you're going to lock that. I'm going to do a demonstration so you can see what that looks like. This is an obvious mention, but I do want to say don't keep the key to the club on the key ring that is in the ignition that has the van running. Keep it on the key that you have on your person. More about that in a second. But why would I need this so much? I'll explain. I recommend carrying 2 sets of keys, especially if you are a pet owner. I do not have a vent or a fan in the ceiling of this van. I do have air conditioning that goes from the front, and there's air conditioning in the back. There's plenty of vents. There's 4 just in the ceiling alone, and also in the back behind my bed. My windows don't open up. They actually tilt out, so you don't really get that cross breeze that you would if you were to just open a window. And that's it. That's as much as she opens. Just that. So most of the time what I'll do, I will leave the van running. So this way, everybody's safe and sound. I'll put my sun visors up, so this way it'll stop a lot of the sun. But I normally make it pretty quick. But in the interim, the van is running. So what I make sure I do is I lock the van totally. But it is running, so there is a set of keys in there. But you're not going anywhere because I have this attached to the steering wheel and the pedal. You can't maneuver either one. So I definitely would recommend this for especially the method that I'm telling you, that these come with some kind of a warranty that if your vehicle does get stolen, they'll pay so much money because this is supposed to be, something theft proof. I haven't had to test that out as far as someone stealing my van, but I do know this. I'm not going to make my van an easy target. So this van isn't going anywhere. Next thing, let's talk some electrical things here. This is my surge protector. It's actually kind of big if you look at it, and I think you can like put the bike lock on there so nobody steals it. There's actually, I'll try and zoom in on this. You can actually put something through here, so this way you can lock it down. This is when like you're at a campsite or somewhere that offers electricity, and let's say I'm going to charge up my solar unit, or I'm going to charge up my DVD player, any electronics that you would have, your computer, your anything that you're going to attach to that box. You want to make sure that if their electricity isn't right, that it doesn't fry your own electrical components. So that's what this is for. So I would just plug my unit into this, and I do have, and I also carry a dog bone. So I have a dog bone as well. This is a converter. It converts from 50 to 30. And this one's also a 30 amp portable surge protector. So that's what this one is. So that's so my stuff doesn't fry up. That's good, yeah? Another thing that I have, which I actually just recently used, and I'm going to tell you what, this is a pretty good product. We have a little white van, and we went out and that puppy would not start. So we got this unit, and all I had to do, I make sure these things are charged. Always make sure your things are charged. Before you go anywhere and you hit the road, always make sure your stuff is ready to go. And I had never jumped a car before, and I'm proud to say that I did. I attached this in here. It's off currently, and then I attached the red to red and the black to the black, and then I started the van. Now what I found out was you can't leave this on there too long. I thought you left it on for a while. You know, from me witnessing people jump cars, they normally left it connected. Like if it was connected to another car, they left it connected for a while and then they would let it go. Well, I turned the van on, it started, and then I'd say within like a minute it shut down. And I was like, oh my God. Well, you need to disconnect this from that. That's all the charge that you basically need. This is a very quick jump starter. And I will have, by the way, also, none of these things are sponsored. These are just things that these are just things that I have in my arsenal for safety. I paid for these. Some of these were recommended by other YouTubers. For example, this one was recommended by Winter is Blue, Mateo. And he has the same van. He has a Ford E250. So I knew if it would jump his van, it would jump my van. I think we went with the next step up though, because this one does have like a digital display on here when you turn it on. So yeah, I highly recommend that. And it comes with a nice little cute case. And it has a little handle, little strap, I'll say. But yeah, this one, I definitely wouldn't go anywhere without this. These things wound up being a literal lifesaver. I'm definitely going to say that. These take batteries, but they do have ones that are LED. I have to fill the rest of these with batteries. I haven't done that yet. We're going to see. Okay. So this is a pack of 5. Now that's what it looks like, but it has different settings. When I got stuck on the road coming back from the West Coast, my serpentine belt wasn't working. I lost everything, steering, like everything. The car was overheating, the van, everything happened. And I did have these in the van. I'm sorry, it's a 6-pack. So I plan, I guess, on putting these suckers everywhere. Or what you would do is alternate them out. For these, since they're battery operated, I wouldn't use them all at the same time, because then it would wear the batteries out at the same time. And I had them on like different settings. I'll insert a clip of the video where I was stuck at night on the side of the road, and every time a vehicle went by, I could, the van would kind of like, you could feel it. Okay, I am stuck out here in no man's land. We have had a situation. Definitely feel the push, the gust of wind that would happen when a truck would go by. And my hopes was, I hope everybody's paying attention and can see, because this van is a dark, like a military green, if you will. So at night, it really isn't that visible. You'd almost have to be right up on it. So I had these, which was fantastic. But I also had these. So this is a 2-pack. And then I put these, like a distance away and kind of like over. And then basically you just crumple it back down as to where they fit real nice. And they are reflective. When you're looking at them at night, they don't look very reflective, but once lights hit it, they are reflective. So that's actually by Beaver. That's the company. I'll try and put links to things that I have. So again, and it, when you break down, there's never an opportune time for that. It's always going to be some sort of an inconvenience. For me, it was late at night. There was a shoulder, but not much of one. And I was in the boonies. I was in Jabipsville. It took me, I think, like almost 3 hours to get a tow truck. I'll actually link that video. It was a really good video. It was a learning experience for me, and maybe for you as well. Here's the thumbnail from that video. So I have these. And again, because things don't happen, when the sun is shining and it's nice, I always keep ponchos. So let's say, it's just pouring rain. I like to make sure that I have ponchos. These are like my little cheapy ones. I think this one I got for $1. Probably the same thing with this one. And then I have like a more expensive one up here. It's it's heavy duty, more heavy duty. These are more your disposable ones, which I recommend. I also recommend gloves. So this way, if you got to change a tire, and we're getting ready to get into that too. I also keep fuses. This is a case of fuses, and it's all different amps. So I keep this with me as well, because this van does have a fuse box. So I want to make sure that, I'm prepared. And if something does, a fuse goes out, I have them. Safety vest. I also have a safety vest if I'm going to go out there and I got to do something on the road. I mean, again, people get hit. You can do anything possibly to help you, but and there's always going to be accidents. But I can honestly say that I feel very prepared by having these things. Now, my spare tire is underneath the van. Because this is a safety video, I'm going to definitely say, especially for us women, make sure you know where your spare tire is, how to get the spare tire off, and you want to know the condition of your spare tire. With that said, when I was out on my long journey trip, I was trying to, it looked like my tires were low, and I wanted to check my gauge for the tires. But guess what? I had a regular tire pressure gauge. These tires go up, I think they're 80 psi. It didn't go up that high. So you definitely You know, you want to make sure that your PSIs in a car, it's pretty standard, but when you're getting into these vans, your PSI is higher. So your tire pressure gauge, you're going to need more than a standard one that, you know, that this goes up to like 59. That's not enough. I need one that's higher. Same thing with an air compressor. You're going to make sure that it will definitely pump up tires that are this big. Now, also speaking of that, I purchased, this is heavy, but this is 3 ton. I keep this in the back, and this is what's going to lift this van to be able to change said tire. So this is a heavy van, and I needed something heavy duty, so that's why I got this guy. And we did get this from Amazon, but a regular, you know, jack is not gonna work on this big van. Not at all. Does have weight to it. Okay, then I also have some traction pads. So these kind of fold up. I just have 2. But in the event, I have these. So I keep these. They lay pretty flat. Oh, okay. Now we have tire snow chains. So for this, these actually wrap around your tire. So we'll go in here. Okay. And you would wrap that on the inside of your tire. So see that? And this is a set of 8. Comes with 2 gloves, reminder. So I haven't had to use that yet, but in the event that I need it, I have it to give me a little bit more extra traction. And it's pretty lightweight. But I would like to know if you have anything that you find that, you know, people aren't really thinking of. And I'm talking about just for the van. I'm not talking about your personal safety, things like that. That for me is going to be another video, and I'll do that one later. And then just stick it in a playlist for safety. But as of right now, this one is for the van. This is to make sure that, you know, everything, that the equipment that I bring with me is going to help keep me safe on the road. Now, obviously, you know, before you hit the road, you definitely want to make sure that, you know, you have no maintenance issues, that all of that stuff is taken care of. And there's actually things that I need to do before I hit the road next. One is I'm going to get a new battery, and there's also something that we have to get fixed, and also that play that's in the steering wheel. I'm going to try and get that fixed again for the second time. First time it didn't work out. Make sure, you know, I'm safe on the road. I'm responsible for myself, Fifi, and Snoopy when we're out there. And I do have one more thing. Probably something that you probably have never seen. And I have it under my pillow here. So when all else fails, because I don't know what I'll run into. Is it, you know, just a streak of bad luck, vampires? I'm not sure. But I'm going to make sure that I have this. So if you see me spraying my tires as I'm getting ready to leave for a trip, guess what? I see nothing wrong with having extra security and peace of mind. And I am not even kidding. I see myself as a spiritual person. Am I Catholic? No. Did I go to Catholic school for about 5 years? Yes, I did. I attended Mass. And I never got the communion, and I was not allowed to go into confession because I was not baptized as Catholic. So those are the things that I could not do. Everything else I had to participate in. But yes, so I know all the prayers. And you know what? I don't see anything wrong with having a little bit of extra faith in this van. I already keep my cross that I got from Lando. That's another video. But yeah, from Lando, that was more of like a spiritual thing. It was, you know, it was that was a deep video for me. But I travel with the cross that Lando gave me. And if you're out there, Lando, hi. Honorable mentions that I will throw in this video, but I definitely want to say, if you have these things, you have a good start. You know, obviously you want some emergency lights, so that's another thing, and I do. I have one right here that's also magnetic. You can have the ones that you put like the lamps on your head. You definitely want some light. So that's another thing that I did not mention that you do want. So yeah, I'll just have to think of some honorable mentions because I cannot think offhand what else I needed.
For the love of all things big and small, your carbon monoxide detector. You forgot to mention that.
But there were some things. It was too hot for hair, okay? It's too hot. It is too hot out here. So there you go. This is it. This is what you're getting. This is the quaff. Yep. There you go. So yeah. Girl power. Yay!
Okay, a couple more things that I definitely wanted to mention was my new tire pressure gauge. And it even has a little light on it. So this one's digital. So this one's battery operated. But this is how I'm going to be able to tell the pressure of the tire this time. I'm not getting caught out there like last time. Also, I do not have it in the van at this time, but it will be in the van before I go on my next trip. And that is the tire, the impact drive screwdriver. That is what takes the nuts off of the tire so that way I can get the tire off, and I don't want to have to sit there and work with it. So your regular like cross one, you know, it has different sizes on it. That one is not big enough. Your normal average one is not big enough to take those nuts off these tires. So I had to, you know, obviously go bigger, and that's where I got the impact with that size to be able to take those off. So know what size you need, make sure that you're able to get those off. And if you don't have the arm strength, because you know I need these sleeves, so therefore I use that impact driver, I would, in order to take those off. And then remember, when you go to put them back on, you do it in a star formation. What is your breakdown story? What did you learn from when you broke down that, you know, could help me or others? Those are important things because we normally don't know until we need it, and that's what all of this community stuff is all about. It's about helping other people and learning from their situations and scenarios. So what did you learn from your breakdown that you have now that you keep with you in the event of? That's it, you guys. So I'm going to say stay safe out there. Enjoy your best life. And we're doubling down.
Thank you for joining me. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, y'all. And if you're wondering if that was real holy water that I have, it absolutely is. We doubled down on this channel in 2026. We're covering all our bases and have leveled up for van life.